All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Bullets, Barbells, and Barbecue. It's me, Brett, as always. Matt is here. Maybe. Oh, there he is. Chris is here.
I'm back.
And Tanner is here. We were trying to figure out a good topic, and then we decided that we're going to talk about CPAPs. It used to be, Chad Ikes wrote an article one time for Elite Fitness that said, how to know if you're huge, and if you have to sleep sitting up with a fucking CPAP. That's how you know you're huge. Now, I don't know about the sitting up part.
Right.
I have.
You gotta tell them how we got on the subject, because you fell asleep yesterday.
Standing up.
I did not fall asleep standing up. I fell asleep sitting up, but I was up late watching our fucking beloved Cornhuskers lose again.
In the last 3 minutes
In
of
the
the
last
game.
3 minutes. But
Yeah.
I do think there's some improvement in the team. I think the defense is better. I'm going to give them, I'm not the Kool-Aid drinker, but I'm going to give them first game a lot of new players.
First game, on the road, new coach, new players.
And Minnesota's not a slouch team. I'm not going to shit on Minnesota because I don't think they're a bad team. I think they showed some promise.
Nebraska played tougher.
They did. And it was probably the best secondary I've seen Nebraska have in a few
So it
years.
was like a totally new defensive scheme, right?
Yeah, they do a 3-3-5.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see. They play Colorado next week.
Maybe they'll start running the ball.
Prime time?
I am a big Dion fan. And when he played, we'll see what he does.
Are you going to be able to root against him?
Yes.
Yeah, well, you know what I like about Dion as far as coaching goes? I think he tries to actually instill some like good values in those kids. Like when he said, make sure you're going to class, you're not wearing cutoffs, you dress right, you talk to the teachers with respect because that's who's going to help you out if you need it.
I mean, so did Osborne.
But I think going from the SWAC to a Power 5 school is very different. And
Yes.
I did like that Urban Meyer called his team the greatest experiment in college football. Because he's got like 80 new players.
Well, Dion has never coached a team. Well, he was 7-on-7 coach. He had Prime U or whatever. And then at Jackson State, he's never coached a team where he had less talent than what he was playing against.
Yeah. So it'll be
Colorado
interesting.
has no talent.
I'm not going to root against Dion overall. Obviously, I want Nebraska to beat him. But all he has to do is win 2 games and not get beat by an average of like 41 points, and he's better than last year.
It's true. They did suck.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that's why I was tired. Not because I don't use my CPAP. I had a CPAP, then it got recalled, and it took forever. And I had just got used to using it. And then when I got the new one, I just couldn't get used to sleeping with it again. It's like a whole... I mean, Matt knows he has one. It's like a different thing to get used to.
Yeah, especially depending on what kind of face mask and face piece and stuff you have. I hated it for the first 4 months I had it. But the biggest thing I noticed is I didn't wake up just drenched in sweat anymore, which was because I was holding my breath and my heart started racing trying to keep me alive. And
You know how many calories you were burning while sleeping?
right? So jacked without that fucking thing.
Just shredded.
Yeah, I just am not doing work at night.
Right?
It's different. I mean, I've slept next to Matt with a CPAP on when he was hammered in a hotel room.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I can
thought
snore through
the
that
story
bitch.
was going somewhere else.
Yeah, no, it could have, but he passed out.
Yeah. That's when it should have just taken off.
My thing is, I don't agree that everyone who snores needs a CPAP. I don't think that's the standard.
I think I wanted a CPAP just because I've been reading that even if you don't need one, the benefits of having the extra oxygen while you sleep are good. So, Brett didn't silence his phone.
I know.
Everybody. Jeez.
But you can, even if you're a snorer, you don't have to have. So I think insurance requires you to have be diagnosed with apnea to some level, moderate, severe, something like that, before insurance will cover it.
I'm pretty sure you can get your doctor to say yeah.
Right? They can be like, okay, here you go. They'll write the thing. I think it's become a lot more prevalent now. I've had mine for going on 12 years. I think I've had one. And when I first got it, I had to do 3 sleep studies. I had to bring in this little SD card every month for them to download the reports to make sure I was still using it and stuff. And it was just a pain in the ass in order for insurance to keep making to cover the supplies for it. And now it's different. Now I just the company I got it through. I was like, you guys are 4 times as expensive as I can get it on Amazon. And it's the exact same fucking thing. So you can either match their prices and I'll go through there, or I'm just going to buy it on Amazon. Well, you don't know that. I'm looking at the product right now, and it's in a Phillips bag. It has the exact same UPC number on it, the exact same paper. Like, it's the same fucking shit. Well, I don't know. So anyways, you can find stuff on Amazon for your stuff. But yeah,
Are you talking parts or the actual whole
parts?
unit? Oh, okay.
Because you want to replace your mouthpiece and your hose every 6 months or something like that.
Yeah, like the hose is supposed to be every 6 months. The headgear is like every 3 months. The actual face cushion that touches your face should be every month. I do like every 2 to 3 weeks. Like, I didn't realize that there was like a big difference between like a brand new face piece, like the cushion that sits on your face, versus like one that I've been using for a month. But like, if you hold them in your hand, the one that you've been using for a month is it's a lot softer, and it doesn't like hold its shape as well from like just your skin oils and stuff overnight. And so you need it to hold that shape and have some rigidity to it in order to keep like a good seal. Because once they get worn out, they start just having a terrible seal, and like your quality of sleep just goes to total shit.
Aren't there different masks though? Can't you just have one on your nose?
You can have one on your nose.
I had that one.
I might try now, so I started doing the mouth taping just this week, and it's been like a significant improvement in sleep quality. So the mouth taping plus the CPAP, because I'm a huge mouth breather, like whether I'm awake or not, like just my mouth is open breathing. And so taping that shut has helped like the CPAP keep a better seal on my face. Because if I fall asleep on my back and I'm like, and like I break the seal, and it's bad. So now like the tape helps hold that in place, so my mouth doesn't move as much, and I keep a much better seal.
I think the other quality piece is get the headgear that has the hose on top.
That helps a lot.
Because then you can move around and it doesn't yank off your face. The hose is like mounted on top, and then it's got silicone hoses down the side where the air comes through. But I think that the part that upsets me about the whole CPAP thing is now all of them are auto-calibrated. So I don't know why you have to get a prescription. Like, why you can't just buy one.
There's like, you can have certain heart issues and lung issues that using a CPAP in the forced air will exacerbate the condition, because it creates extra pressure in there, and it drives fluids and things like into your lungs. Like in the EMS world, there's contraindications for using, like CPAP is a treatment we can use on people who have trouble maintaining airway, but there's contraindications where like you don't want to force air in there. I could see that maybe, but if I already have a CPAP and I get sick and I develop one of these, like the heart issues or lung issues, like my CPAPs, I'm still going to put it on at night and just start forcing air down my face and have the same issue. So that's probably the reason why. Plus, I can get more money for him by making him insurance. But
because I got mine the first time without insurance, and then when I had the recall and I was trying to get it because it took too long, they wouldn't sell me one.
Yeah, you can go on Marketplace or Craigslist and just get one.
Can I buy your used CPAP?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't get used to it again, so I don't sleep with one anymore.
Yeah. But the snoring thing, so generally you have to have apnea to get a prescription for it. But like you said, you can find a doctor who's like, oh yeah, you're fat as fuck, like you need this. And they'll get you one. But for the snoring piece, like the snoring, although it may not be apnea, can still disrupt your sleep. Like you can wake yourself up snoring and do that. Like we've all probably done that. Who made that fucking sound? Oh, that was me. That was me just snoring.
It's usually farts.
It's your ripping ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually farts.
Holy.
So like, but
that was a bass.
snoring itself can cause you to have shitty sleep and wake up like only get like little microbursts of sleep. So
I can see the wheels turning in your head over there. You're like, do I need one of these?
No,
That's what you're
I'm
thinking.
not getting a goddamn fucking CPAP.
I thought he was
That's how
talking
you know
about-
you're a real man.
Yeah, no.
When you need help breathing at night.
I just thought when he
Fucking
said
sleep on your stomach.
when we said farting and then he said shitty sleep, I laughed.
I can snore face down in a pillow. I can probably snore face down in a
That's
bucket
what my
of water.
dad was telling me. He's like, it's awesome. I can have like 8 pillows wrapped around me. I'm like buried in it, and I wake up and I'm like, where am I? I can still breathe because I got my CPAP on.
See, if I sleep on my stomach, I'm pretty good. I don't really snore on my stomach.
I mean, I'm sure I snore. It just doesn't matter.
Hey, if you don't think your sleep's affected, then sure.
I think I'm
It
good.
don't fucking
Good.
matter.
I just went to the doctor and he told me I'm the pillar of health.
Fucking Chris is over here.
I
just
don't know if
staring
that's
at
the
me.
word that he used.
He said, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great.
Like verbatim, do you write
do
it down?
Pay him. So I mean, yeah.
You are the pillar of health.
I know.
Yeah.
I saw the test results.
Yeah.
They couldn't.
No
have been-
more triglyceride PRs.
No, it was lower than last year. But I ate smash burgers the night before I went in, so with tallow.
I tried, Doc. I tried getting it up there.
He goes, it should be lower than 400 this year, and I was like, well, I had smash burgers last night. He's like, well, should still be better than last year. It's been a 12-hour fast. But the smash burgers were super good.
I had
With
this
tallow.
week too.
So what a smash burger is mostly like it has onion on it, and you start with the ball and you just smash it on a griddle. Like that's
Yeah, I just had a pre-patted burger that I smashed.
I
And
weigh them out. That's how I do.
Three
I
ounces,
do too.
3
Yeah.
ounces, right?
Yeah.
But I put jalapenos on it instead of onions.
so you had a smashed burger, not a smash burger.
Yeah, but when I would go to the restaurant smash burger, I didn't ever get onions on mine.
I don't like onions, so no, never do onions either.
I think it's literally just you smash it down. It's super thin.
Yeah, it's just to get that crust. It's like got some fancy name. What do they call it? Like when it builds that crust when you smash it. There's some chemical reaction that happens with
In the left over in a pan, isn't it called fond? I think if you're cooking in
Good
cast
question.
iron and stuff, like you leave like the little burnt bits in there.
It might be something like
fond
that.
or something.
There's like a fancy name for it.
Fondue.
Ooh, that's so good.
Yeah. Those smash burgers were super good.
Yeah.
And then we kind of grilled the buns a little bit.
Ugh. Did you use the bun butter?
Oh, I got one.
Right?
I did.
Money.
Yes.
I didn't have one.
Be careful. I think it'll get fucking hot. You
Butter?
burn your if you leave it on the top of the griddle for too long. It
Did you
gets
get
hot.
one?
I don't have one, but I was at somewhere.
I mean,
where they used
hypothetically, if
one.
I had one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when
it-
I was like, I need a bun butter.
Right.
So I got one.
There was a
my
large.
cheese
I just don't want to. I want to keep
cookout.
it like inside. So if I make toast, I'm just like, fuck this, like everything. Just roll my hand
Yeah, dude,
across
just get
it.
one of those. Get one of those plug-in candle warmers.
Oh, that'd be a great idea.
And then set your
Fucking
bun
leave
butter
your-
on it.
Yeah, there you
Coming
go.
soon to Etsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to make
Butter melter.
Yeah.
You're gonna want a lid on it though, otherwise you're gonna get. You live out in the woods, you're gonna have flies in it.
I dig it. I don't leave it outside. I bring it inside. and
No,
put
if
it
you
in the
have
fridge.
if you get one for in the house for all the time.
Oh, I have like open butter in the house all the time. Like it just sits off to the side by my stove with my tallow and shit.
You don't put like a lid on it,
No,
I have a lid on mine.
because then I have to move it every time I want it.
but that's how you get bugs on it.
What kind of butter do you? No, I don't know if I think I've ever had bugs on my butter.
It's better to have lobsters on my piano than crabs on your organ.
Oh, okay.
I did also make Meat Church's W sauce marinated chicken.
Did you use the Fireshire, right?
Yes, I actually found the W sauce at Helping You Barbecue here in town, and they had the Fireshire, and then I used some of the Meat Church Voodoo seasoning on it, and then pepper jack cheese. So I smoke. Well, you don't really smoke it. I made it on the Traeger, but you cook it at like 400,
Yeah.
and then you put the pepper jack cheese on with like a couple minutes left to melt it, and then we put it on a bun with onion strings. I eat it with that. Super good. But you just marinate it overnight, like 12 to 24 hours in just a plastic or a Ziploc bag.
I did a pork butt this week, and then coleslaw on the. Did you guys put coleslaw on your pulled pork?
I don't ever make coleslaw. It's an extra step.
I make coleslaw. I like the coleslaw from
Like on
How to
the,
Barbecue,
on the
right?
sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Malcolm's recipe.
So then Nicole made pizza for the game that we lost. Just throw that in there. So we did a bunch of different ones, but she did a pulled pork pizza, and then I took the coleslaw out of the fridge and put it on top of the pizza after it was cooked.
Yeah.
Oh, it's freaking great.
Pretty good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something.
Did you guys get a pizza oven or do you have one already?
No, she just puts her oven up we just put the oven up at 550.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's not as hot as it needs to be, but it still does a good job.
Yeah.
She makes the best crust.
Thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it gets like puffy around the edge, like
Okay.
the air comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does make good food.
She does make good food.
Yeah. Really good food.
How I don't weigh 7,000.
Right.
pounds
I
is a
know.
fucking
I'm
miracle.
like Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happens when we don't eat breakfast and we talk about food on the show? Everyone's like, oh, God. Everyone's getting all excited.
I haven't eaten since last night.
I had some Pop-Tarts this morning. I'm ready to go.
No, you had that. What was that thing you ate?
I ate that too.
What was it? I don't even remember what it was called now.
It's
Protein
what
brownie.
is it, Power Bites,
Prime Bites.
Prime Bites, and it's
Dude, that glazed cinnamon roll is freaking great.
yeah, there's probably nothing healthy about it,
I mean,
But the packaging looks great.
and it says protein.
Perfect.
the numbers on the package are good.
Are they right?
I haven't tested it.
Exactly.
It's one of those things that it does taste too good to be true.
And it's like light and airy.
Yeah.
But isn't like some food has to, like, I know like supplements in general, they don't have to have any kind of testing, but if it gets food, like that has to be certified, right?
Well, it says nutrition facts, so it has to be.
Yeah.
So that doesn't say supplement facts. That says nutrition facts, so it actually has to be. Yeah, so it's legit.
Yeah.
Is it?
Just freaking
Ish.
tastes great.
Yeah, it is super good. But I had that and some Pop Tarts this morning.
That's fine.
What kind of Pop-Tarts?
Chocolate fudge.
What? There's only one Pop-Tart.
Yeah,
Which
strawberry.
is
Brown sugar cinnamon.
No, that
I
is
like strawberry and
that
brown
is
sugar.
poor people in a Costco fucking.
Well, I'm poor then,
people
but there's
aren't-
only
poor
one
people
freaking
aren't
Pop-Tart.
that is
Costco.
the best one. If I
That
could
is the
only
best
pick one,
one.
if I could only take one,
That is the
I would
best
do
one.
the
Everything
brown
else is a
sugar.
freaking knockoff.
No, first of all, s'mores is the best one.
Bullshit.
No,
Number
it's-
one.
Well, put this up as a poll
Do
question.
you warm them up or do you just eat them cold?
Cold.
No, man, you gotta fucking warm them up.
I
always
understand.
warm
So-
them.
Can't raw dog that.
My mom, when we were growing up, she'd always toast them and then put butter on them. So I thought that
Oh
was
my
the way.
God. Jeez.
So I thought that was the way it was done until people were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like,
What?
"My mom toasts
I'm
them,
making them a
put butter
ton
on
of
them." Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I eat them cold. Some of us go to work at 5 a.m. and don't have a fucking toaster.
You
have a
okay,
toaster
you don't
at
have
your
a
house?
fucking toaster?
Here,
You can just warm them up in the microwave for like 10 seconds
I eat them while I'm working.
while you're working.
Yeah.
You mean falling asleep standing up?
No, I was sitting down. I wasn't working then. Well,
I mean, you were sitting. I mean, I was here, but I wasn't actually working. I was sitting
I wasn't
down.
training somebody. Yes, but yes. And actually, did you ever have the Eggo waffle Pop Tarts?
No.
No,
Those were super good too. You guys missed out. Fucking
Are toaster strudels still around?
they probably
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
When was this?
Those were
the Eggo
legit.
waffle?
like last year.
Really?
Yeah.
They just put
Well,
like,
if you don't ever look past the fucking poor section at Aldi's, you're fucking really not going to see them.
You don't make it past our family. You just-
Yeah. Well, didn't they actually? Wasn't there a thing like years back that the Toastums, the off-brand, was actually healthier than Pop Tarts?
I mean, probably.
kids, 'cause they
That's
were
why it
giving
didn't
them-
taste as good.
They were giving them to kids like it.
you're not
like
eating Pop Tarts for the health. Like I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna eat a healthy breakfast and pop a Pop Tart in.
Pillar
Yeah.
of health here does.
Yeah, if you eat the
Pre-morning-
strawberry ones, that's for health.
pre-morning carbs.
I gotta get my fruit.
Yeah, remember fruit in for the
Well,
day.
serving of fruit right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, it's carbs.
Health.
No, it is carbs. It's true.
Coming from the dude who, as soon as he walks in my gym, is in the bathroom for like 30 minutes. You need to examine your life.
Because he doesn't have any toilet paper.
That's true. He bought Pop
You
Tarts.
just power shitting every time you show up here? You just power shitting every time you show up here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I mean,
got a
I live
got a
30.
pre-
I live 30 minutes away. I drink my pre-workout when I get in the car. And by the time I get here, it has kicked
Worked
in.
its way through.
Yeah.
But yeah, my Pop Tarts are unhealthy. It's not what the doctor said.
I'm not saying that they're healthy. I'm just saying we're not eating them to be healthy. Like that's not like,
Yeah, that's
I
not
want
the
them to
first thing
taste-
you're like, man, I want to start getting healthy. I better buy some Pop-Tarts.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably a big step up for a lot of people.
I was just going to say, I went from a box of Ding Dongs to a pack of Pop Tarts.
I mean, that
on a
is
5-year
improvement.
plan.
Are you
Right.
drinking a protein shake with it?
Yeah, why
That's
not?
why you had that
There you go.
protein.
Yeah.
Protein
yeah,
brownie.
Yeah, protein brownie.
Yeah.
Like a freaking 4-course
I've already
meal
had
there.
some water. I had some Monster. I've had some whiskey.
Yeah.
Wow, you're starting a Saturday off right.
Basically
everything
halfway through
primed.
the day.
You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
That is also true.
The best is when you're drunk before the sun goes down. You just go to bed, wake up in the morning.
The best is when you drink yourself sober and you start over.
That's called cocaine.
Yeah, that has never happened to me.
I've never done that before.
You never been drinking beer all day and you've been like, man, I think I don't know, I'm gonna have to switch to whiskey here. I'm not really feeling a buzz. That's never happened.
Nope.
No,
No.
no.
No, because I just get hammered and then
I'm
I'm going
a
to pass out.
really good drinker.
We know. Hashtag four-wheeler.
Four-wheeler with wings.
I think you had the wings. I think the four-wheeler ejected you.
Yeah, because I'm just too talented for
We
it.
should get him a parachute to ride on his four-wheeler. So when he takes flight next time, at least he's got something.
Right?
Should
Should probably start with like a
How
helmet.
high did you go?
I don't think I went very high. I think it was more just a lateral movement.
Okay.
Yeah.
More long.
Yeah. I was going for distance, I think, is what
Were you
happened.
like in a Superman position?
I don't know.
Is there a camera on
I
your
was
driveway?
halfway up
He time traveled.
I was halfway up the driveway, and then I teleported to the bed.
Up or down your driveway? Were you coming out of the road?
Yeah, I was coming up the road, and I was about halfway up the road,
and then
I teleported to being inside.
So you rolled it in the road or in your driveway?
Why are you asking me? I wasn't there.
Well, you went out and flipped it over. Where was the four-wheeler when you had to
The
roll
the four-wheeler was like right outside of the driveway. So if you come up the driveway and just went right across the road, like that's where it was.
Oh, that's kind of a little embankment, a little drop-off.
Yeah. So that's why I'm guessing whoever was riding it tried to turn too fast into the driveway and rolled it because it's got those real tall knobby tires.
Yeah, because I think I've told you it's not a sport four-wheeler; it's like a working four-wheeler.
Yes.
Do you think whoever was riding it ragdolled when they came off it, or do you think it was?
I would imagine so.
No, it was a ragdoll. Man, I wish there was camera footage.
Do you have a ring camera?
No.
Oh.
Whatever happened out there is between me and Jesus. He's the only one that won. Well, and Yurik.
And Yurik, yeah, the dog. I was gonna say Yurik saw the whole thing.
He probably just
He
tried
probably saw it happen and was like, fuck this,
We
I'm
need, to
going
put
inside.
we need to put a GoPro on the dog just to catch all of Matt's bullshit.
It'd mainly just be Yurik laying around looking at fresh cuts of meat that he won't eat.
Right? Like, ooh, is that my dick?
Yeah. Oh, actually, do you want to... Kristen actually didn't listen to last week's podcast because...
He did not listen to last week's podcast?
I haven't listened to it yet. Will you calm down?
I was going to
please?
say, do you want to defend yourself? Because we had you really ranked low last week.
Yeah.
We did have you winning the pull-up contest, but you took dead last and everything
Yeah.
else.
Oh, I was just saying yesterday that, I mean, pound for pound, I'm probably on par.
did.
Do you know what
On par.
pound for pound means?
Pound for pound.
You're a little bitch.
Pound for pound, the champ.
Calling out pound for pound is like doing a fucking Masters event.
At least with other masters.
Well, he's with other skinny people.
I'll just
I
put it
guess.
in perspective. I weigh 180 pounds. Brett weighs,
190.
okay, Matt weighs,
195
probably.
and then Tanner weighs 240.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
so.
full grown men.
It's like I would be stronger than you if I was your size, but you're not. So you're not.
That's
Okay,
you guys
hold on.
should
So
be
hold on,
stronger
that-
than me.
Back, do you think 300-pound Chris was as strong as we are?
No, 'cause 300-pound Chris wasn't about that life.
We did say that you would win the pull-up contest, but 300-pound Chris would not have won the pull-up contest.
He would not have won the pull. I couldn't do. I remember when I was fat, I was like, man, I'm gonna do this P90X thing. Next thing you know, I put it in, I start and like, and then I'm just sitting there watching it. Man, I don't know about this. I don't think it's gonna work out for me.
This fitness thing ain't for me, man.
You didn't make it to the Ab Ripper X.
Oh man, it was. I don't even know what I was thinking. I think I got it off of like LimeWire or something
Oh,
too.
you stole it too and didn't even.
Thief.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Obviously,
Yeah,
when that was
Was that the
still
one that
around.
came right after Napster?
Yes.
Napster was like the first one.
Napster, LimeWire, and like Audio Galaxy,
So
and Bearshare.
we're all fairly old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember like setting up your computer at night to download like
Yeah.
5 songs?
Oh, because that dial-up, dude.
Yeah. And then you woke up, you're like, I got 3 of those fuckers downloaded.
Yeah. Great.
I'm gonna make my own mix CD here real
Yeah.
quick.
I had to pay the $1 a month for that call forward line busy service.
Yeah.
But then I go to my friend's house in Harlan and they would just like download a song in like fucking 5 minutes. And I was like,
You
what
son
the
of a
fuck?
bitch.
And then Metallica ruined Napster for everyone.
Nobody knows the struggle.
But
you
now
just
they
get-
have
yeah.
like 1 billion digital downloads. Like they just crossed that threshold of having some like they have like top 5 artists with the most billion downloads, something like
Metallica?
that.
Didn't
Yeah,
Lars talk
Metallica
about
did.
that and how he kind of regretted going after Napster because he said it kind of ruined their.
Yeah, I think he.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
it kind of
like they would have rather gone around it a little bit
Metallica.
differently.
Yeah, because
like,
of it.
To be fair, like at that point in time, like the only way you got music was by buying CDs.
Yeah.
So like when you're just like uploading songs and take like that is taking a lot of the money away from because they don't get a shit ton of money for like the tours and stuff. They got to sell CDs. But now like everything.
Well, don't they
digital.
don't they make a lot more money on tours?
I thought that's.
I mean,
think
tours
I
is
thought,
printing money.
Yes,
I thought
you're
the
right. Yeah, it's
record
tours where they make
companies
a
made
shit
all
ton
the
of
money
money.
off of
shit.
CDs.
But now they don't make shit on the digitals because like they're getting
They make pennies.
pennies on the
But-
digitals.
Yeah, 'cause I thought touring, was where they made all their
Yeah.
money. Because that's when
Yeah,
people
'cause-
were like, well,
Yep.
because at that time, everybody said that Napster actually forced artists to go out on tour more, which was
Whatever happened to the Napster guy?
That's a good question.
Did you see, like, a few years after he kind of got shut down, he was on the MTV Music Awards, and he came out in a Metallica shirt. But didn't he invest in Facebook or something like that when it kind of got bought out there for a while?
I have no
Or
idea.
not Facebook, MySpace.
Oh. MySpace.
I think
we are all old.
I think he was in on some of those things.
I saw something. You remember Tom on MySpace, the guy that was your first friend?
And you couldn't delete him until like years later.
Yeah, well, that was the owner, I think, of MySpace, right?
Yeah, he sold it and got rich.
Yeah, he made like $800 million. And there was like a post. I have seen this a long time ago. Someone talking shit to him, and they're like, "Oh, this lame ass MySpace," and he goes, "Oh yeah, I was 22 years old and I sold MySpace for $700 million while you're sitting at your mom's basement right now, hoping for a weekend off." something along those lines, and it was a super, super funny comment back to him.
That was like that Dave Portnoy video we watched yesterday on his pizza review.
Right.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
When the guy came out and started yelling at him.
And he just like flips him off,
He's
like
like, I
big
don't like-
solid middle finger there.
Yeah, he's like, I don't like what you do for small business or whatever. And he's like, oh, because I raised $50 million for small business.
And then the guy keeps saying, he's like, meh, 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 meh.
And he's like, oh yeah, sorry, I sold my business twice and made like $500 million, and then I bought it back for $1.
Yeah, dude, people hate him.
And then he goes, "Oh, your shirt's too tight, fat boy," or something. He says to the guy, "He's like, lose some weight. Your
Yeah,
shirt's
it's like your shirt's like
geez,
6 sizes too small, fat boy." And he was on an interview, and the guy that he was talking to, he's like, and I like that guy's shirt because I like Star Wars, but it was just way too small for him.
I like Parmesan though, so I bet I'd like that pizza.
Yeah, he said it was very Parmesan heavy.
Yeah,
And he didn't really shit on that guy's business until later when that guy came out. He's like, oh, hey, by the way, your pizza fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And then in the interview, I watched him where he's like, I don't usually say stuff like this, but I hope that guy goes out of business and loses everything. Fuck that guy. But that's a real business deal. I mean, he bought Barstool Sports back for $1.
Yeah. What was the deal with that?
They couldn't get he merged with that gaming company, and they were having problem getting the licenses because a lot of states don't like Dave Portnoy. And I don't follow Barstool enough, and I don't follow Dave enough to know why everyone doesn't like him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I don't think it's I don't know that he's like super political. I don't know.
I
don't-
honestly don't know.
I think it's probably just because he's a big loudmouth and people get upset by that. But I think that's funny.
And
So-
he
He's
actually,
like a video shock jock, right? Like that's his part
That's
of his
probably-
thing is
yeah.
going out there.
and I think he had said he even watched one of the like gaming commission hearings, and one of the people spoke up and were like, I just want to make it a point. One of the people that was involved in the hearing said, I just want to make it a point that we are treating Dave way different than we treated anyone else we've ever given a gaming license to. So it was just that company decided, I think they ended up going with getting a merger with ESPN.
Okay.
And I think they still have that company and Dave are still whatever you want to call it, friends. You know what I mean? So he got it for $1, but there's like a deal if he ever sells it, they get
a chunk.
whatever they're.
Yeah. Well, we already sold it twice, I think.
Yeah, he sold it for $100 million, and then the rest of it for like $400 million,
Yeah. And then bought it back for $1.
and bought it back for $1. And he's never going to sell it, so he's never going to have to pay them. But they're doing, which smart business move, they're writing that $500 million off as a loss in the company.
Well, I mean, that's what
Because
they
it really
do.
was. I mean,
It
it
was.
was a loss. They paid $600 million for a company that didn't profit them at all.
Well, and then what they do is they just run that, like, I think you can run it like 5 years forward or 10 years forward. So you have a $500 million loss. So you just don't pay taxes for the next 10 years.
And that's what people don't understand. Like in the tax situation, like that is in the tax laws. Like they're doing nothing wrong.
No.
But that's, and that's where people forget, like, if it wasn't for businesses, there wouldn't be taxpayers.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If you didn't have a company like GE that employs hundreds of thousands of people, there would be hundreds of thousands of less people paying taxes.
Well, aren't that many people paying taxes right now? I think only like 40-some%.
Oh, yeah, that's a low number in
yeah.
general. Yeah, I saw that on the news one time. They were they're on the streets talking to people on like tax day.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, did you get your taxes paid? And they're like, pay my taxes. They just look like completely fucking
No.
confused by the whole scenario.
Over half this country's like, no, I'm just waiting for my refund, man.
Well, we've taken a turn. We went from talking about CPAPs to tax law.
Yeah. But you know what? We're going to bring it back to, I made a really good brisket this past weekend. Yeah.
You did, actually. That was really good.
It was super good. I think I got my seasoning
Another
figured out on
Wagyu.
it. Yeah.
I walk in. I think I walked in on Monday, and he just like he's holding brisket. And he just looks at
slapping
me.
you with his meat.
No, he just looks at me and like he's trading somebody, and like I just grab the piece.
Was he
And She
asleep?
was like, "What the hell?" Like, no, he just hands out meat. That's what he does.
He passed out for a little bit, and you just took it.
Yeah,
No, I was awake then.
yeah, he was. He was chewing.
Hey, I used to fall asleep at the front desk sometimes when we first opened.
You still do. Yesterday.
I wasn't. I mean, like one time I fell asleep like head down on the desk. Yeah, we've come a long way.
Like Dave.
Yeah, he just is gone.
He could just lounge back in that chair and be out.
Yeah,
But as soon as you try to take a picture of him, boom, he just wakes up. Every single time I've tried to take a picture of him sleeping, he just snaps one eye open and just stares at me.
Who fell in that chair?
Dave.
Dave. And Marco.
Marco.
Marco fell all the way back. Dave got stuck in the chair.
Brett used to have the video of Dave
I
falling.
still do.
Oh, yep.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, he saves videos.
Yeah, I have that. When we talked about Tanner getting stapled into that bench, I
I
saw
know
that
you
video
have
too.
Do you ever when Norman had to like dump 315 on the back?
No, I just heard it and I came around and then he was just like laying there with the plates on the
No,
ground.
you were at the front desk and I yelled at you, pull the video. Like
I don't know if I got that one.
What was he doing?
he just
Failing.
came in. He just came in and just real quick, like he got to 315 benching, like without a warm up, and all of a sudden I hear thunk. I look back there and he's just like bars, just plates on the ground. It's like pull that video.
He's come a long way. He's a way better bencher now.
Yeah, he benched 405 for 4 the other day.
Yeah.
It's pretty
There's that
solid.
guy that used to compete locally here who would show up and he would never warm up at a powerlifting meet. Like he would open with 315 for the bench and he might do 225 once.
I don't know.
And then he'd just walk out. God, fuck, what's his name?
He really left an impression on you.
I mean, he was like, if I could remember his name or you saw him, you're like, oh yeah, that guy.
Well,
I don't
that really, it's really helpful.
Yeah, it's probably one of the
You're
best comments I've ever had.
Yeah, if I could just remember his name, you
If I
would
can
know
remember
what
his
I was talking
name
about.
or like what he looked like,
You're painting a picture,
right? Yeah, it's a masterpiece here.
Oh, and Chris got a flat rock too.
Oh, yeah. I just love that thing. I cook on it every day. Make
Great.
bacon, eggs on it every day. Anything. Hey, I'll cook whatever on it. Hey, what do you got? Throw it on here. We'll cook it.
Yep.
You can do anything with that. I
So
love
have you
it.
given up on your smoking career?
No, I haven't. I
Has
just
your wife made a better brisket than you yet?
no, she has not. I just haven't. I just don't have time right now. I have a lot of projects going on at home, but
But you
there's
can
always
smoke
time.
while you're making
That's true.
I mean, don't you just turn it on and walk away?
I just have 2 days off at a time.
No, it's a
so
very
it's kinda hard
complicated
for me to-
process.
I mean, I know we all make it sound more complicated. That way we can like be outside watching the brisket while we're drinking a
Right.
beer or something.
If you do have a pellet smoker,
If you have a
yes.
pellet,
But if you have a pellet smoker, yeah. I
It's-
mean, you're just like,
You just turn
Yeah.
it on.
like
and
you put
walk
your
away.
meter on and check your fucking
like
phone.
I
That's all you do.
I really want like a really badass offset smoker.
Yeah.
Because I want to like tend to the flame and like have that kind of like quality of smoked meats, but I know that I will not
had
pay attention to
the
it.
first one I had was like just like a straight stacked one where you just put everything at the bottom.
Yep.
Dude, I could not get my timing right. It's like we're eating dinner between 3 p.m. and 11
We're eating dinner on Tuesday.
because I could not keep that thing. Like, everything turned out great, but it's like
Yeah.
it's a crapshoot. I have no idea when it's going to be done.
Yeah. I had the Mad Scientist Barbecue just posted a video on I think he called it like the death of the 3-2-1 rib,
Oh,
which is like the
I
real
like-
the real common way of cooking them, where like you smoke them open for 3 hours, wrap them, cook them for another 2, unwrap them, like cover them in your barbecue sauce or your glaze, and smoke them for another hour.
Okay.
And then they're done. And just one of his like offhand comments he said in there was that if whatever temperature people give you for like a big offset smoker, if you're operating on like a pellet grill, to knock it down by like 25 degrees.
but that doesn't answer like when we get the meat church stuff and he's using a Traeger.
Right.
Like, it
He's
still
using the
doesn't make
exact
sense.
same fucking Traeger that I have, and it's still off.
I want to try to get Matt Pittman on here. That'd be great. So we can answer these.
That's the only question. Like, answer this, buddy, because like I did his Texas sugar one that he did when he first came out. He did a rib. He put it on the Timberline Pro, Timberline XL, like the brand new that just came out. I have that same one. Put it on there, left it there for 5 hours at 250, spritzed it, I think 3 times, came off, looked great. I did the same thing, and that thing was fucking charred bark.
Now, do you
It
think
was
maybe
so tough.
Were his ribs thicker than yours?
Maybe, but I had 4 different racks on there that were like somewhat different, and they all came off just like chewy leather.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting question. How he gets all that figured out. But we talked about shotgun shells. Yes.
Oh yeah, and pig shots and shotgun shells. Yeah,
I have never made the pig shots, and you haven't either.
the shotgun shells.
Shotgun
you mean?
shells, yeah.
I'm sorry, shotgun. You haven't made them either, right?
No, I have not made them,
We did.
but
I
I
have.
do want to.
You guys made it. So
Yeah.
I feel like it seems like a lot of work for the reward.
I think the hardest part's just stuffing the pasta, right?
But don't you have to cook the pasta a little bit first, though?
I don't think so.
Well, I
No.
will tell you that because you wrap the pasta in bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't get part of like if there's like a chunk of the
Yes.
pasta outside of the bacon, it is not good.
So the bacon kind of softens the
Yeah.
pasta?
So you have
Okay.
the meat on the inside, and that like the juice comes out of that, and then the bacon on the outside, the juice from that gets into the shell, so it softens it up. But yeah, so the first batch I did, like any kind of shell that's exposed is kind of like crunchy.
Hard, yep.
So I ended up just taking it, just cutting those ends off.
Yep.
So like I had some waste, but I was like, here you go, dogs, have a treat. And then it was worth it because then like you just have it's all like a good nice texture
Yep.
in there. But I would get 10 to 20% more shells than you think you need because you're gonna break some when you stuff them.
Can you buy those? Because they're big ass noodles.
you-
What,
Yeah,
Big.
you just get them you can get them at like Hy-Vee
Yeah.
or anywhere, a lot of places.
what noodles are they again?
Manicotti?
But they're like, you can stick like a finger in there, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're
no, I mean
decent
they're big ones. Like you can easily get a thumb down there
size. Okay.
and in the shell.
Yeah. Yeah. And pig shots, obviously pig shots are good.
Yep.
The sausage cut end about 1/4 inch, wrapped in bacon, and then it's a mix of cream cheese, shredded cheese, seasoning. I think that's it. I think you can put like diced chilies in there if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Those are messy.
What's that?
Big
The
shot.
big shots.
Yeah, because you can't use thick cut bacon. So you use regular bacon, but then some of them get like all flopped over.
And then the shit ends up in the.
Yeah. Yeah, there needs to be a better way. Some kind of container to make.
Also, the last time I did those, I cut the bacon to so I only used like the best part of the bacon to wrap it so like it would stand upright, and then everything else I just cut into little pieces and then just like cooked it up that way, and like you could mix it in with eggs and stuff.
Yeah, that works.
So again, you go through a lot more bacon, but
Smoked deviled eggs are also solid.
ugh, so good. If someone would peel the eggs for me, like after they're boiled, like cool, I'd make them all the time. I hate peeling hard-boiled
There-
eggs.
yes.
Fucking hate it.
Yes.
There's the new invention. Make something that peels hard-boiled eggs. Millions of dollars.
Mexico already makes
wasn't
a bunch of them.
Isn't there a video where
Is there?
like you crack it and like you can like squeeze it out or something? Fuck.
I mean, we can buy pre-peeled deviled eggs at the store
Yeah,
Hard-boiled eggs?
They're
I'm
super
sorry, yeah.
expensive. Like
because they're fucking pre-peeled. What do you want?
something cheaper,
Jesus.
right?
I think like I saw someone like some lady on Instagram like you like tap the end of it out and then they could like blow.
They used to
the
make
egg
a thing. My parents had a thing. You crack the end, and there's like a little accordion thing. You shoved it down. It's supposed to blow the egg out. I don't know. It didn't work 90% of the time.
Like they blow a hard-boiled egg.
Yeah. Like you like and you can like blow the egg out of the shell. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
I don't think peeling them's that terrible, really. You can peel them pretty fast.
Freaking pain in the ass.
You just put them in the cold water, right? You put them in ice cold water right after you boil them.
I have no idea. Whatever I do does not work.
Once they're done, you just take them. Amber puts them in like ice cold water
Okay.
for like, I don't know, 5 minutes, and then you start peeling them. But I think if you buy like shitty eggs, I don't think that helps either.
I think it was supposed to like bad eggs are supposed to be easier to peel because they're older, and so that little mucus membrane on the inside doesn't adhere as well to the shell anymore. Like farm fresh eggs, like trying to hard boil, at least our eggs, hard boil and peel those are miserable. They're so like that little membrane between the shell and the egg itself is like just sticky.
How many hens do you have?
We have 20 right now. Well, we have 20 that are laying and then another 20 that are still growing up. So give a 2 months, we should have close to 40 that are laying eggs.
It's a lot of eggs.
I know. Well, we're trying to figure out right now. So we had 14 that were laying anywhere from 10 to 12 a day. And then we adopted, we took on 7 other chickens from a friend's neighbor who just like left. And he just like literally cut open a bag of chicken food, throw it in the backyard, and then the family split. And he was like, I can't take these chickens. And so we're like, sure. So we brought them in. One of them died. But now we have 6 of them that are mixed. But since we've added them probably 2 months ago, our egg production has gone down a lot. So now, like I said, we have 20 egg layers that make 5 to 8 eggs a day and stuff. And so was doing a bunch of research about trying to figure out what's going on with that. And
Like
what
100 eggs a day. That's a lot.
What?
You get like 100 eggs a day.
Did I say 100?
No, 5 or 8 total.
5 to 8.
Oh, I
total.
think each one. I was
Oh,
like,
no.
Jesus.
No,
Yeah.
just looking at the batch.
I thought you
They-
meant
they-
each hen was making 5 to 8 a day. I'm like,
God
damn,
damn,
that's a lot of fucking
No, no.
eggs.
No, they
So,
don't-
like,
I
of
think
the-
I think they only lay like 1 a day.
Yeah, I mean, well, you can get like
Except
Costco
Costco chickens.
Costco chickens will lay up to 3 in a 24-hour period.
Because they make the light, they
Yeah.
look like a different day.
Yeah,
because they're on steroids.
yeah. Well, and even though, so like, side story, Costco chickens, they're called cage free because they're allowed to roam outside of a cage, but they're still inside a building that's just in a big feedlot thing. So they have artificial light set up. So every 8 hours is one day for them. So in every 8 hours, they're laying an egg because their food is engineered just right. They're engineered just right. So like, oh shit, it's been a day. Yep, I should have an egg. Boop. They make an egg and they walk outside of their cage and they do something and come back. So they're not like when they say like cage free, it's not what you would think of. Like our chickens they have a hen house they sleep in at night. A door opens up in the morning and they walk out into a grass field. Now we have feeders out there for them and stuff, but they can eat grass and bugs and seeds and whatever else they find.
Like free range on a chicken means like they have a door that goes outside. But chickens are dumb, right?
Yeah.
Like if everything's inside and it's climate controlled in their food, they're not going outside.
I mean, if it's climate control, like ours go, we have food and water in the coop.
Yeah.
But even in like
No,
winter,
but I'm just saying like the
Yeah.
commercial. Like,
Oh, yeah, the commercial
like,
stuff, yeah.
Commercial free range is complete bullshit.
total different.
Total bullshit.
Yeah. So our chickens, we have 20 that between all 20 of them, we get 5 to 8 a day. And doing some research, talking to some folks out that we know who have a lot more experience with it. And what we're thinking is that they're not getting enough food because my wife also gets a shitload of food scraps from the kitchen at the hospital she works at. And so we'll throw them out like cut up squash and watermelon, like whatever the kitchen doesn't use that we normally throw away. We just throw it out to the chickens, like expired bread and bagels and stuff. But their diet needs to be 16 to 18% protein in order to maximize their egg production. And so I'm hoping that the issue is that because they didn't have enough food for them to all get to, and they were eating too many snacks, that their protein count was just too low, and that's why they're not eating. So we're going to put in some more feeders and stuff.
Someone told, like I was just talking with someone about this the other day. They said if you have a rooster, that the hens lay more. Like it makes them like a little more like, hey.
Yes, it will. It'll make them lay more, but roosters
Are dicks.
are super dicks, and they're real aggressive with the snuggling. And like and when they mount the chickens, they pull their feathers out, so they'll like reach around. Like we had one chicken, Hootie, and she's a super pretty chicken, and she had this really pretty like beard of like a multicolor browns and grays, and now it's just totally gone. So she just has like this weird old lady gobbler chin that's just there because like the rooster pulled out all her feathers. So we don't have any roosters anymore.
So aggressive rooster.
Super aggressive.
Come here.
Yeah. Yes. And and they really liked Hootie. Yeah, so we had roosters for a while.
So many jokes.
Right.
So
That I just,
baby.
I'm just running through my head like, is this appropriate? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's super rapey at your house.
They are super rapey, and it's just the way it goes. Like the girls would come out and they'd be like, "Ooh, snacks," and they start eating snacks. And Gomez was the first rooster, and Gomez would come out and he would just fucking fly and like jump on top of them and just get after it. And then he'd get off and he'd walk around a little bit, and then he'd jump on top of another one. And so like, listen, buddy,
He's the cock of the walk.
right?
So what happened to Gomez?
We killed him. So he was I killed him. And I went to break his neck, and so like when you kill him, like you tuck him under your arm, right? Like you're carrying, I don't know. So you tuck it under here. You take their neck, and you grab just behind their head, and you kind of pull down towards your feet, and then you snap your wrist back so it kind of like cocks their head back. So as you pull down, you kind of turn their beak up, and you pull, and it just breaks the spine right below the neck, and they're just dead. But there's a real fine line between like breaking their neck and not breaking their spine, or pulling their head off. So the first one, so the first one, I went down there and I grabbed him and I snapped it because I didn't want to pull his head off because I'm like, this is gonna make a giant mess. So I snapped it and he kind of shuddered and stopped, and I was like, all right, cool, he's dead. And as I go to turn around, he's like, I didn't kill him. He came back to life. I was like, oh shit. He grabs like, and then got him and broke his neck. And then
you ripped a head off?
Yeah, I ripped a head off the last one. We had one that was sick and we had to cull it. And so Aaron, we had another rooster that we had to put down. And I was like, listen, Aaron, they're your birds. Like, you're going to have to cull chickens. It's just part of having a flock of chickens. Like, some are going to get sick and they need to be killed. Like, you've got to be able to do that. And she's like, I don't want to. So she's like sad crying and stuff. And I'm like, you've got to kill him. And so she's like, okay. So we laid him down, and you put like a broom handle across the back of their neck, and you can just grab their feet and give it a quick tug. And it does essentially the same thing, but that way like the broom handle holds their head in place. And so she did that, had to give it a couple little tugs, broke his neck, no problem. We had another one that was sick, and that one I went to put down, did that, grabbed the legs, pulled too hard.
Head came off.
Head came, not completely off, but enough to just like cause blood to just spray everywhere. And Erin's looking at the chicken. She's like, oh my God, you tore her head off. And the bird's just like flopping and like just squirting blood all over the ground. And I was like, oh, sorry. Well, back to the truck.
So are you back to being the chicken killer?
I'll probably be the chicken killer.
I mean, I feel like that's your job.
Did it run around with like a chicken with his head cut off?
No, and I don't. Like, you'd have to actually like clean cut their head off, and I don't want to do that. Like, if I can kill them without making their heads come off, that's best. We have, and then like, so we take the chickens. Like, I'm not gonna clean the chickens and eat them because like they're
the layers.
The layers, like the egg chickens
They're
are
gross.
like tough and stuff. So now, so
because if you're gonna raise chickens to eat, like you're eating them like under a year, right?
42 days.
Is it 40?
Yeah, that's like we've done 2 batches of meat birds, and I'll do another big batch next year because they're really good. But the meat birds go from being born to murdered in 40 to 43 days.
Do you have the ones with the big boobs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They look like when you start to take them in, you're like, you kind of look like a cartoon chicken. They look, when you compare them to like the egg layers, they're just a big, huge body on top of these legs. Where like the other chickens, I'm like, oh, that looks like a comfortable, like walking around chicken.
Like Norman legs?
Ooh.
I had to throw that in there.
Rough crowd.
Yeah.
So when are your next meat birds going to be ready?
Not till next year.
Oh, you don't have any right now at all?
No, we were going to try to do some this fall. Well, we're going to do a batch in the spring, a batch in the fall. But the problem is you have to keep them sheltered for at least 2 weeks until they get to like a certain size.
Oh.
And then you can put them outside. Like the last 2 batches we did, we kept them in like we have a 1-car attached garage around on the back of our house underneath that we just use for storage. And we've kept them in there. But the meat birds are so stupid. They're like really smart rocks. And so they just like, all they do is they shit, they eat, sleep, drink, and then just try to take dust baths all day long. So it's just throwing up dust bedding everywhere. So like the whole garage is just caked in like this fine powder. So the next batch we do, we'll raise for 2 weeks, and then we'll have them outside in like a mobile trailer that they have access to the ground. And then we'll just move them around in our meadow until it's time to kill them. But we just ran out of time this year. I'm not going to mess with it right now because you can only do it early spring and late fall because it gets into the summer and you run the chance of it getting to be like 100 degrees and they'll just cook out there. And you can't have it be too cold. I think it can't get down below like 60. Otherwise, they run a chance of like dying or getting sick if they're young. But next spring, we'll have some more meat bird.
Nice. So we're recording this Labor Day weekend. So it's kind of the end of summer. And Memorial Day, we talked about the beginning of summer and what we were it was grilling season. So it's the end of grilling / smoking season. Well, to an extent, I'll smoke all year, but I think the best thing you made this summer was on your smoker, your flat rock, griddle, whatever you got.
Oh, you made me buy the rich people brisket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
by that, he means Snake River Farms Wagyu.
Yeah. And now I can't buy other briskets.
To go with your toast and Pop Tarts.
Buttered
But
Pop-Tarts.
you know why he can't buy other ones? Because his wife said that they can't, and she drives the truck in the family.
You know, that line's been missing for like 2 weeks. I was wondering where it was at. I'm glad you brought it back.
Oh, no, I know.
Hey, I drove the truck last night.
Did you have to slide the seat forward?
It is. It is the worst when you get in your wife's car and like you forget that they're short, and like you just
tell
like
me about it.
yeah, and you just like jam everything on the way in. It's like
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
I used to work for a mechanic in high school, and we'd go pick up people's cars for oil changes, and I would do everything I could to not move someone's seat because that's like, we're elders. This was pre-seat memory.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was like, the worst thing to move somebody's seat. And I would drive my fucking knees like in the dash,
Yep.
like up on the windshield, holding onto the steering wheel. It was bad. But so here's the Wagyu. What do you got, Matt?
I would say I'm really happy with the progression of my brisket. I haven't done like a Snake River Farms. I just use like, we'll call it the common folk brisket. Not quite poor because I'm not buying it from Hy-Vee.
So you're
but
talking a
it's not-
Costco Prime.
Yeah.
Okay.
The progression of that, but I think some of the best stuff I've made has been the like chicken legs done with that Alabama white sauce.
Yep.
So like you smoke those with like a brisket rub, like a real pepper forward brisket rub, smoke them and then take them off and you make up this white sauce. Like I dip the legs in there and then put them in a hanger and then put them back on the smoker for another like 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that sounds good.
Now, are you using Malcolm's recipe, or are you buying his?
I'm using a little spin-off from Meat Church. The one he has one up there where he does like a spatchcock chicken.
Okay.
And so I've kind of used that one. I've bought Duke's, I think, makes a white sauce. An Alabama white. Someone makes an Alabama white sauce.
Is that Big Bob's chicken? Big Bob Gibson? Because that one's not good.
Maybe.
It's not good.
It's like okay in a pinch, but like once you've made, at least having made it and tried it and then compared to that one, I'm like, no, the stuff that I make is way better.
Yeah.
The pre-bought one, if Malcolm's How to Barbecue Right as Killer Hogs one, he does a pretty good job with the Mississippi white sauce. The actual one you can buy. Have you tried it?
I've always made it.
Yeah,
I've
I've made it,
always
but in a pinch, like his actually tastes like pretty decent
Okay.
as far as like a pre-made in a
Yep.
bottle white sauce. And I did that same. I put some on some wings.
Yeah.
That's super good.
Yeah. I've done a lot of chicken legs and done them with whatever you would do like buffalo wings with, but just do them on like a chicken leg, like a full-size chicken leg.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so you're doing like full drummies.
Yeah, full drummies. I'm like, this is, yeah.
Chicken legs.
That's the way to go. Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
Well, I haven't smoked a whole lot this year. I have done a lot on the Flat Rock. The smash burgers I made in the Flat Rock from that Wagyu burger meat that you got me was really good. But that brisket I made wasn't bad. But I'm making one more before the end of the season to see if I can redeem myself.
So like before Monday?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
What are you making, a prime?
Probably. I want to cook it a little hotter this time. I did the slow
What?
cook. I did the slow, like 225. You know,
So what do you mean, like
I'm
a
gonna-
little hotter? What are you going to do?
275.
Oh.
See how that works out.
Yeah. I usually just like put it on at night, so I just leave it really low because I'm not dealing with it till the morning,
Yeah.
and then you can
I'm
crank
gonna
it.
just try. I'm gonna try to change it up a little bit, see what happens. It'll probably fail miserably, but we'll see.
I'm a 250, 275er.
Well, you go like you've done them slow and you've done them quick.
Yeah, I
What'd you do the last one at?
250 until it got to the stall, like around like 159, 160. Then I went 275. And then once it got to like 170, I wrapped it.
So like start to finish, from when you put it on to when it's ready to eat, how long?
It was 8 hours of cook time, and I let it rest for 3 hours in a cooler with the probe still in it, and it was down to, I sliced it at 150 degrees. And that was perfect. But it was like an 11-pound brisket, so by the time I trimmed it, it was probably 8. So it's about an hour a pound. I feel like if you're running 250, no matter what, I always turn it, if it's not at 275, once I wrap it, I go 275 because all you're doing is cooking it, then it doesn't really matter.
Right.
So, but once it got to the stall, I went 275, and it took me 8 hours to cook it.
You pull it out at what, like 204, 205?
I set my probe alarm at like 200 to 202, and then I start feeling it out to see if it's tender, and if it's super tender, and then if it's not, I'll let it go a little bit longer. Then I put
That new
video.
video with Malcolm, he was talking about how when it hits the temp you're looking for, if it keeps rising quickly, it's still not done. It's when you want it to like dip down. So if it gets to 209, you're like, I might pull it, but then in 10 minutes it goes to 215 or 211, whatever. He says then you wait a little longer.
Yeah, that guy you had on there was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
On How to Barbecue Right, he has a new brisket video with a guy that was pretty solid, and he talked about. He also said if you cook it super low, your done temperature will be lower because it's so much more time to render. Whereas if you run it hotter, your done temperature might be. What he say his highest one was like 214 or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
But he's cooking like hot and fast. So hot and fast, those guys are cooking like 300 to 320, and they're getting. I mean, they'll get their briskets done if it's a smaller one in like 4 or 5 hours.
It just seems tough to get it all like rendered down and softened up in that short of time.
Well, and I was good because he actually, I think a lot of barbecue videos you watch, and any of these people we recommend anybody out there to watch, they're mainly doing backyard home briskets. But I think some of the people you watch that are competitive barbecue people, they're talking to you like they're competitive cooks. And the guy that was on there, he was like, I don't want to eat a competition brisket. He's like, we make them so rich because it's only like one bite that you're selling to the judge.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, so you don't want to, like, you'll eat one piece of brisket and you don't want any more because it's like so rich. So, and because, they're injecting, they're doing all kinds of shit to it. He's like, so, I mean, any of those, like anybody that talks like that, you want to do like a backyard brisket that's just regular. You don't need to inject it, trim it. Like, it doesn't need to be some crazy competition trim. I mean, the only thing I like from competition that they all talk about is make your briskets like very aerodynamic.
Yep.
So you get flow.
Yep. I have taken that part on to like aggressively trim.
And you don't
Like
throw it
the
away.
brisket.
Matt does it. I do it.
Yep.
I think you kept yours too. You
Yeah.
can keep your trimmings. You can.
I put it
don't
in a pan
necessarily
and
keep the fat. as
pallet
much.
'em, yeah.
But I keep all the meat for sure because I'll grind
Yep.
it and just make ground. And I'll just make that on like griddle, just ground. I don't even patty it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the best new thing I made this summer was that chicken thighs marinated in the W sauce. That was super good, and it takes about 30 minutes at 400 on the. I have a little Traeger Ranger.
Because that was the couple Meat Church videos ago.
Yeah, he does it, and I think the W sauce does make a difference. It's better than regular.
It's way
Worcestershire.
better than
Regular, and the Fireshire's got a little bit of heat to it.
Yep.
They sell it at Shields for anybody that's not from Omaha, and then here in
Yep.
Omaha, Helping You Barbecue has it. Those guys are good dudes.
Yep.
But that was probably one of the better new things that I made. I haven't smoked any cream cheese yet this summer, though. That's also super fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't smoked cream cheese, do that.
Yep.
I also made some meatloaf, like Wagyu meatloaf. That's pretty solid.
I actually make a Euro meat and I'll throw it on the Traeger.
Like you actually like lamb and beef?
Yeah. You just beat the shit out of it in your KitchenAid mixer until it's like emulsified. Is that the right word?
We'll go with that. Sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much a chef over here. But yeah, and then you just like press it down towards like a whatever your thickness is. It's like a big old meatloaf thing. Just set it right there. Works perfect.
And then do you put it on the spinning, what do they call that thing, the spit? Do you put it on a spit and then just start like fucking shaving chunks off for everybody?
I do cut it, but no, I don't. I should get one of those.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But no, I think that the W sauce one is my best.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you do in the winter? Like, do you change it up? Like you have stuff that you typically do in the summer, and then stuff that you will more likely do in the winter.
No.
Yeah, say he just cooks whatever he wants, whatever he wants.
Yeah. I think I'm going to move my smoker closer to the house this winter.
Like in the kitchen.
That would be great. I don't know how nobody's invented an in-home smoker yet.
There's
Like a
got to be a
legitimate
way
one.
to do that, especially with a pellet,
Big vent.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the only issue you'd run into is like when you go to open that bitch up, like you need a big hood to like suck and capture all that shit. But like you could vent. I'm sure you could vent out of the back.
Yeah,
on
I
one of
just
those.
can't believe that no one has made an indoor smoker. It isn't. I don't understand it.
Well, my Powerball numbers come in.
Making an indoor smoker.
Yeah, I'm just kind of a griddle and a smoker. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, all indoor.
Let's move somewhere where you can be outside all year.
Yeah, but then they get fucking
There's
either
people
hurricanes
there.
or fucking earthquakes.
There doesn't have to be people there.
I'll take winter over hurricanes
Yeah,
and earthquakes or
I'll take
fires.
winter over summer.
I like seasons. Like when you go
Seasons
to a
are-
place, when you go to a place where it's like always the same.
Yeah, and my favorite
man,
season.
it's
San Diego.
72 again.
Like San Diego.
Gross.
Summertime it's 80, wintertime it's 68. Yeah.
Dude, my favorite seasons come out fall and winter.
Yeah.
Favorite seasons.
You can't live in California anyway. Doesn't matter what the weather's like.
Yeah, no, I'll just be a bum in California. You might as well.
Yeah.
Plus you're a little gingery to be in the sun that often.
Yeah, that's why I said winter and fall. Rushing it. I go to work in the dark and I come home in the dark.
Yeah, it's Duluth season here coming up.
Yeah, I'm basically like Batman. I wasn't born in the dark.
Merely adapted to it.
I think we covered a lot of awkward topics today. I think it was
Perfect.
really good,
Yeah.
and it's a good end of summer.
Yep.
But
We're in football season.
we'll keep smoking all winter though.
Right, but it's still tailgate season, so like keep the smoker rolling. Like
Yeah.
there's still a ton of really
You
cool
should
shit.
never stop smoking,
No.
and always have a non-electric smoker just in case you don't have power, so you can still smoke. That's my tip for everyone.
Yep.
But yeah, other than that, appreciate you guys listening. Like us, share us. We'll put out another content. We'll give out our shirts for last week's. This week, if you tag our video with 5 friends, we're gonna make it a little bit harder.
My friends.
Tag 5 friends, and if they follow our page, if they don't already follow our page and you tag them and they follow, we'll pick someone. We'll send out a free shirt. Other than that, as always, sponsored by Elite Nutrition, EliteNutritionOmaha.com, and the Mecca Omaha Barbell, OBGYM.com,
And Matt.
and Matt.
Yep.
But we appreciate you guys listening. Share the show. Like I would say, like Andy Frisella said, don't be a hoe, share the show. We'll see you guys next week.